Yo guys, welcome back for another episode. Today we'll be talking about another African empire. I know you guys love when we talk about these African empires, and I know that also you guys love learning about our history that is untold by the masses. So let's get right into it today. Another empire in West Africa that we're going to learn about, more of a recent empire in like the 1300s. So let's just get right into it. So the Wolof Empire was located in what is modern day Senegal and the Gambia rivers in the early 1300s. This empire was ruled by a king, but in this empire, the king had both religious and political duties compared to other empires and kingdoms, to where the king just ruled over political affairs and then they had other religious figures that ruled over the religious affairs. In the late 1300s, the Wolof Empire started to develop states and formed a federation which made up the Wolof Empire. Each state would answer to the king, but they did have rule over internal affairs in their states. So in their states, they could make rules and they could, enforce things. But the king was the ultimate ruler of the whole empire, and they had rule over these certain states. But when the king said something, they all moved. So soon after, two more states were brought into the empire, and these states were on the coast and paid tribute to the Wolof Empire before joining the empire. Now, the empire had a long established trade with other empires as well as people such as the Berbers. The empire's wealth came from gold, ivory, sorghum, and slaves. Most of the citizens produced sorghum and millet and belonged to the large citizen class. The Wolof Empire practiced a caste system as well. At the top was the noble class, then after that was the large citizen class, a craftsman's class of leather workers and iron workers, and a slave caste or class. In the mid 1400s, the Portuguese would arrive at this area and would start to trade with the Wolof Empire. This eventually turned into a political alliance down the road. Now, the Portuguese set up on the island of Arguin off the coast of West Africa. They began to raid the mainland for captives who they took back to Portugal as slaves and for slavery. This all soon changed though, with trade representatives and some state rulers from the Wolof Empire. Some states in the Wolof Empire turned the raiding and kidnapping into a regular trade with the Portuguese. The kings of some of the states exchanged captives for European goods such as metal items, firearms, and textiles. The most powerful state outside of the capital was the KR state, and this state benefited greatly from the trade. The KR state bordered the coast, and this is the reason why, and would soon go rogue from the Wolof Empire. This coastal state had an advantage due to location, as I just stated, and this gave a commercial advantage to the state, making them a powerful trade post and cutting off a major wealth generator for the Wolof Empire. This would lead to the desire to be independent from the Wolof Empire. In 1556, the nobles of KR rebelled against the king and gained its independence from the Wolof Empire. Now, the KR kingdom would eventually conquer a neighboring state, and later they would defeat the Wolof kingdom's army. This would lead to the decline of the Wolof Empire. KR had cut off the most lucrative trade of the Wolof Empire. Though the KR proved that it did not have the abilities to build a strong and cohesive empire like the Wolof did, and when they were actually part of the Wolof Empire. They were also continuously attacked by the Berbers to the north, and in 1689, the Wolof Empire would attack the KR kingdom during one of KR's weaker times. Now, the Wolof Empire had some success when they managed to kill the king of KR, though in later battles, the KR kingdom would kill the king of the Wolof Empire and push his army back. Soon after, the king of the state of Bel took control over KR, and Bel was a neighboring state, and they took control over KR and became the new king. He ruled until 1702. Battles continued between the noble rulers of the Wolof states until the 1800s, and this was when finally the French colonials took over. So today, guys, we learned about another African empire as well as kingdoms within the empire, and we also learned about a rogue state, which was Caire. And Caire was a state that had nobles and had a king, and they felt that the business was so good on the coast that they would rather just trade with the Portuguese themselves, and felt like they were getting so powerful that they wanted to break off from the Wolof Empire. So they actually started to help the Portuguese with, obviously who they captured in war, other people that they captured, and African people, and they sold them to the Portuguese or traded with the Portuguese slaves. So today we learned about an empire, and we learned that states sometimes break off, right? It happens throughout the whole world, not just in African history, but it happens throughout the whole world, and it's happened in other African empires, Asian empires. And so a state broke off from the empire, and who knows, that could be the reason that the Wolof Empire crumbled. I mean, we would never really know, but it cut off a very, very strategic trading partner, which was the Portuguese at the time, as well as the Saharan desert trade that they had with other ethnic groups throughout Africa and other kingdoms and empires. But at the time, that coastal trade was a very, very big part of the Wolof economy, and who knows, it seems like it made it crumble. So today we learned about another empire. We learned about a Wolof empire that was thriving until the Portuguese came, it seems, and until one of the states broke off, and it was thrived off of gold, and it thrived off of different kind of trade that it had with other kingdoms, like I just stated, empires and peoples. And as always, guys, always each one teach one. Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, all Afric Network. And as always, guys, always teach each other, always learn. And until next time, we learn about another African empire. And peace. One love.
What's up? What's up?
Hey.
Shalom.
What up?
Hi.
Africa.